I know, dumb. You ever hear of Shakespeare? No, honey-baked Hamlet. They never heard of Shakespeare. Nor did Shakespeare write the words hail and hearty. That is a soup, in fact. Everyone but him is dumb. Everyone but him and this guy.
Donald Trump and Jimmy Kimmel stand at the center of a tense confrontation that transforms a late-night show into a serious and highly charged exchange. Donald Trump enters the stage with a rigid and controlled demeanor, immediately shifting the usual light tone of the program. He begins with remarks about fairness and respect in public discourse, but quickly pivots toward direct accusations aimed at Jimmy Kimmel. Trump claims that false narratives about him and his family have been spread without evidence.
Who seem to think Trump's behavior, the bullying and the putting people down, is a sign of strength.
People he frequently refers to as low IQ people.
They tend to be women, and they tend to be women of color.
Attributing them to figures such as Barack Obama and Jasmine Crockett, and accusing Kimmel of repeating them irresponsibly. His voice rises with intensity as he stresses that these allegations have crossed personal boundaries, especially when referencing his wife and his son, Barron. The audience reacts with visible shock as the tone escalates and the studio falls into a heavy silence. Trump continues forcefully, insisting the claims are fabricated and describing them as deliberate attempts to damage his reputation. His gestures become sharper and more animated, reflecting growing frustration.
He is really fixated. I'm starting to think he might have a crush on me.
If you look at the not-so-greats like Jimmy Kimmel, he was now Jimmy Kimmel in terms of talent, then I don't think I should be president.
I don't think I've ever agreed with anything more than that.
Throughout this, Jimmy Kimmel remains still and composed, allowing Trump to speak without interruption. This silence heightens the tension, giving weight to every accusation and building anticipation in the room. When Kimmel responds, his tone is calm, measured, and controlled, creating a sharp contrast to Trump's intensity. He acknowledges the sensitivity of family-related issues, but makes it clear that he will not avoid the discussion. He introduces a statement that shifts the dynamic, asserting that DA-related reports connected to Barron are already circulating publicly, delivered without aggression. The claim triggers a strong reaction from the audience and alters the balance of the exchange.
It would not in any way affect the structure of the White House, and then he demolished the White House and left his Secretary of the Treasury to explain why.
While accusing Kimmel of spreading fabricated narratives. However, his response now carries a defensive tone, signaling a shift from his earlier control. Kimmel maintains composure and clarifies that he is not introducing new allegations, but referencing information already present in public discussion. He frames his role as questioning power and accountability, emphasizing that public figures inevitably face scrutiny. As the exchange continues, Trump's responses grow more emotional, combining denial with visible frustration. In contrast, Kimmel consistently redirects the discussion toward evidence and verification. The difference in approach becomes increasingly clear, with Trump relying on forceful denial, while Kimmel relies on calm reasoning. The turning point arrives when Kimmel presents a direct challenge, stating that if the claims are false, proof would resolve the issue. He suggests a transparent deny test as a definitive way to settle the matter. The proposal has an immediate impact on the room, prompting loud reactions from the audience. Trump hesitates briefly before rejecting the suggestion, insisting the claims themselves should not be entertained. This hesitation marks a clear shift in control as his earlier dominance begins to weaken. Kimmel continues steadily, reinforcing that evidence is the strongest response to any allegation. His calm delivery strengthens his position, while Trump's denials appear increasingly reactive. As the confrontation reaches its peak, Kimmel delivers a concise statement emphasizing clarity and accountability, prompting sustained applause from the audience. The segment concludes with Kimmel maintaining control through composure and timing, while Trump's earlier dominance fades into reaction. The exchange highlights how calm, structured communication and focus on evidence can reshape a high-pressure confrontation.
The last thing I want to do is upset you during this sensitive time, but I have one more bit of entertainment news to share, and that is that I've decided to extend my contract here at ABC for another year.